Good evening, everybody. I'm Brandon Rutherman, and welcome to the College Football Kickoff Show's TikTok 10-minute drill, where we give you all the picks in less than 10 minutes or your next pick's free. Just kidding. We do have to go into full-on rapid-fire mode with 45 games to pick from for this Saturday's undercard portion of the picks, and also we have the Lanyard selections for your Friday games. So without further ado, let's go into rapid fire mode right now on the TikTok 10-minute drill. Beginning in the upper left-hand corner, I got Pitt over Central Michigan as they get ready for the backyard brawl against West Virginia next week. That will be the big one of big ones for week 3. More on that next week. Syracuse over UConn. Syracuse with Steve Angeli at quarterback should have something in a way of getting back on track, but UConn's no pushover. Liberty over Jacksonville State. Texas A&M over Utah State. Delaware State over Albany as we dive into the FCS portion. Eastern Illinois with a road win over Indiana State. Chattanooga over Tennessee Tech. North Dakota State in a cakewalk over Tennessee State. We got New Mexico over Idaho State. The last time New Mexico played an FCS team, it was last year on opening weekend. They had a 17-point lead, and they lost to FCS title game runner-up Montana State. Can't see that happening this time out, though. Buffalo over St. Francis. This one here is a little bit tricky. I got Cincinnati over Bowling Green. There's a part of me that wants to root for Bowling Green for the sake of Eddie George. And if Bowling Green pulls that off, then Bowling Green suddenly becomes the eyebrow raiser of the Mid-American Conference. Not that they weren't before. But this could be the one team that could potentially snatch the MAC title away from Toledo. More on Toledo shortly. Georgia over Austin Peay. There will be no peeing in the hedges this week. Thought I'd say that and get away with it. Georgia Tech over Gardner Webb. That should be an easy one. Navy over UAB. Rutgers over Miami of Ohio. Western Michigan over North Texas. UTSA over Texas State. Although I think Texas State might give UTSA some problems. They're not the same team as they've been the last couple of years. West Virginia on the road over Ohio, setting everything up for that aforementioned backyard brawl next week in Morgantown. Florida over USF, but it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Arkansas over Arkansas State. Marshall over Missouri State. Old Dominion over NC Central. Elon over Davidson, Holy Cross over New Hampshire, and I got Rhode Island on the road over Stony Brook. Both of those teams, I believe, were in the playoffs last year, and Rhode Island had picked up their first win while Stony Brook got bounced out in the first round. William and Mary, after losing a heartbreaker to Furman, should have no trouble against Maine. We completed the top portion of the undercard picks. Now we go to the bottom 2 quadrants, if you want to call them quadrants. Sounds like the NCAA tournament. North Carolina with a bounce backer over Charlotte after their 48-14 beat down to TSU Monday night. Bill Belichick should have no trouble against Charlotte this week. Memphis over Georgia State. Toledo over Western Kentucky. It's going to be close, but I got a feeling Toledo will eke that one out. Plus, if Toledo ends up going 0 for 2, it's just 0 for 2 against Kentucky teams, nothing further. Southeast Louisiana over Murray State. North Dakota over Portland State. Couple of easy ones there. Houston over Rice. Rice beat Louisiana last week on the road. The hangover, I think, may have kicked in. Houston should win this one. I got Tulane over South Alabama. Jake Retzlaff, the new quarterback in Tulane. Those of you who don't know who he is, he was, well, I don't know the whole story off the top of my head, but let's just say he was a Mormon. He's no longer a Mormon. Do your homework, guys. I didn't. Southeast Missouri State over North Alabama. I got Auburn over Ball State. LSU over Louisiana Tech. Still not all too happy about what happened last Saturday night in that LSU Clemson game. But don't worry, karma does have a way of catching up with Brian Kelly. Abilene Christian, I picked them last week. I'm picking them again against Stephen F. Austin. South Dakota State over Montana State. That's a big one, folks. That's top 5 big. Montana State, I think is, I can't remember the rankings. It's either 4 or 5, and South Dakota State's got to be 2 or 3. I don't have it on me, though. UNLV over UCLA. Well, after the beatdown UCLA got against Utah last week, I'm afraid it's going to continue. We have Tulsa over New Mexico State. UTEP, a rare pick for UTEP at that, over Tennessee Martin. Arizona, with Noah Fafita running the ship down there in Tucson, beating Weber State. And, ladies and gentlemen, look out for Hawaii. I got them over Sam Houston. Hawaii might be a team to watch in the coming weeks if everything goes according to plan. So now, as promised, we have our Lanyard selections for Friday. We wanted to make sure that we get all of this done, and with a couple minutes left in the 10-minute drill, before we make the picks, I want to remind everybody that this Saturday we will be doing our TikTok 10-minute drill from Cameron Stadium, rain or shine. And at this point, we're not sure what we're going to be in for, but indications are we're going to do our best to give it all to you, regardless of what the weather conditions may suggest. But we will be down in Cameron Stadium Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, to make our Lanyard selections. And speaking of which, your Friday games, we got Louisville hosting James Madison, 7 p.m. kick on ESPN2. James Madison's the kind of team that you don't want to take lightly. They can sneak up on you when you least expect it, but Louisville, with all the talk centered on Clemson, Miami, and to a smaller degree SMU, nobody's talking about Louisville. Well, I am. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's bad enough it's upside down. But yeah, we are taking Louisville. You have our word. Louisville over James Madison. And on that same night, we have Maryland hosting Northern Illinois. That's on the Big Ten Network. 7:30 kick time at College Park. Northern Illinois at this time a year ago upset Notre Dame. No such fortunes this time around. And besides, they lost to Holy Cross. Or no, they beat Holy Cross. But they only won by a slim margin, I think, of 2 points? Not going to happen here. Taking Maryland over Northern Illinois. That's going to do it for this edition of the TikTok 10-minute drill right here on the College Football Kickoff Show. You have yourselves a great night, a great day tomorrow, and a great college football Saturday on top of everything else. Brandon Rutherman signing off of the College Football Kickoff Show, TikTok 10-minute drill right here on TikTok.